Good evening and welcome to Rock Youth Rock Truth. I am one of your beautiful hosts, Tamoist, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. Rock Youth Rock Truth is founded on He, who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. Rock Youth Rock Truth is a cross-cultural response to the economic climate and social crisis of today. We are designed to serve the physical need of fallen man while serving the spiritual need he didn't know he had that impacts, affects, and infects generationally. We seek to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established local kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. That song's a little new. It's a little slow, jazzy, little slowy, coming in all subtle like. Very nice, very nice. I really like that. Let's keep it up. Let's keep up the good work, truthers. Here we are, here we are, here we are, here we are, back another Monday, and y'all might not see what I'm putting out there. Look at the girl got her nails done. Little, classy, little basic compared to the white I had before this. A little short. Y'all know I had a wedding on Friday. My auntie got married. She's now Tiffany Stanley. Very beautiful ceremony. Very beautiful. So shout out to the Stanleys who are on honeymoon, their honeymoon out in Florida, living up life. How has your week been, Miss Chate?
It has been good. What did I do? What did this? Oh, duh! I was at the beach. Yes, it was really good. It was really good. We went to Ocean City, Maryland, so I got in the water for the first time, and I don't know. I think my adult life I haven't been in the water. Um, so it was nice. Like I actually got in. I got some seashells. Um, yeah, we did a boardwalk. We rode rides and ate, and so it was nice. It was blessed.
You said
Hello, hello. Ocean City, Maryland.
in the Maryland State?
Uh huh.
Oh wow. You guys drove?
Yeah, from me, it was only three. It was like almost 3 hours. It was like 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Oh wow. I didn't know it was that. Yes, because New York's too. So
Mm-hmm.
wow. I over there on the East Coast. I really do. Because I know it's just so much history. Like, just as much as it is, like, people want to go down south to Alabama and Mississippi and stuff. I just know it's so much history over there because that's where allegedly all the founding states and stuff. And I love history, so wow. Yeah, I have to go over there. I like it over there.
Well, Lord willing, I will be your way next week. So, and I've never been to Indiana. I'm gonna be honest. Like the only thing I've ever even heard about Indiana is I know that's where the Jackson kids were born, were from. So yeah. So I'm excited because I've never been.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Pennsylvania. I know that I heard about it, and I know, loved ones that live there. Yes, I do, Lord Ty. Got my nails done. I feel very relieved, very relaxed. But yeah, I've never been to Pennsylvania either. I want to go really bad. But yeah, and the exact part that you're talking about with the Jacksons is where right here up the street in Gary. So, and they got a little sign on the highway now to extort clout for the city. So, we trying to get back on the right path, right track, Gary, Indiana. Shout out to us. But yeah, so intro, nail check, recap of the week. Um I know when we were talking about last week, about being submissive to the Lord and his will, and in obedience to the will of our Father. But I feel like I didn't really have too much of a challenge with that. I feel like I was on a very obedient, path with praying and being in touch with the Lord this past week. And here we are on another Monday with another scripture of the day, another word from the Lord, which when I was reading it, and I know when I said to you was reading it, I was just like, wow, because I've been feeling I've just been feeling like, why do people do what they do, or like be feeling the way they feel but still have, all these emotions and all this abstract things going on. They're just like, but I didn't mean to, or I didn't mean to say that, and my heart was just, I was just mad and stuff. So I've been experiencing a lot of that, and then when I was reading this today, it just really opened my eyes, coming from Matthew, educational.
So honestly, I did not. I got it from you, but I did not get a chance to read it. So I did not read it. But you said it's Matthew.
Yes, Matthew 15, 18 through 20. And before we keep going, I'm about to, I'm about to let me make sure I got it right, because I don't know, being on here for over a year, and just still can't get right with our number. I wrote it down. I hope I was a little truthful to myself. I put 747 2 for 2 truth. If that's right out there, truthers, please give me a little a hand clap, or a little thumbs up, because I'm telling you, when I wrote this down in my show plan today, I didn't 2 for truth. Okay, I added an extra 2. Okay. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I just want to keep saying 747 2 for 2 2 for 2 2 for 2 2 for 2 2 for 2
You sound like you trying to get somebody a deal.
Right. You get a call. You get a call. You get a call.
Yo.
But yeah, tune in with us. Keep it in the plans for today. I thought you guys would call in with us. And, today we're gonna be going over that Matthew 15 18 through 20, ways of purity. Purity is, about evil thoughts, evil feelings, just, things, ignorance. It said innocent ignorance. That's what it is. That's our words for the week too. Ignorance, focusing on not to come over with not knowing, but acting all um what's that word when you have a victim, like, I was like, what's that word, victim, not victimizing ourselves and taking responsibility of our actions. So call in with us and talk to us if you want to add some input. But then again, our comments be nuking too, so we get it from we get in there from the comments. And then I want to start back up next week with our quotes of the day. I know I've been slacking for, a month or so, month and a half with my quotes, but I usually we haven't been hanging up our quotes lately with me and my sisters, because we usually like wake up and start our day, we pray and then we quote of the day, but haven't really been, you know, having the making the time. I'm not even going to say has. We have to choose our words wisely. I haven't been making the time to make it important enough to do the quotes of the day. So we have to start back up. We is in the last half of the year. So if we gonna rock it, we gotta rock out right. So I'm gonna read this. And instead of me saying or saying how I'm perceiving it and from my point of view, I want you to go first, Mr. Tay, after I read the Matthew. So it says, those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart. For out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, and blasphemies. These are the things which defiles a man. Ooh, that's hot.
So, I just read that last night because one of my Facebook friends had posted it, and it was seeing how because it was talking about how they, I guess when they brought up like, oh, about the disciples not washing their hands before they ate, I believe, and that's when Jesus went into that. And yeah, and like how like no, what comes out of you is what defiles you. And so like you said, like watching what comes out of her mouth. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I have never said something out of anger. I'd be a compulsive liar. Um, but like you said, we still have to watch our words. We still have to watch what we say. And even okay, because so even if I didn't mean it, right? That's still a part of me that I need to work on because it was in me to say that to you. Know that might not be me. That might not be how I feel, but it is in me. Like I said, it is in my heart. That is something I need to work on. The fact that I even was, I even allowed myself to get to the point of saying that. So I absolutely, we have to watch what we say. And like one of the biggest, it's all true, but like words have so much power. And see, like we be like, oh, like when we speak something, like speak what you want, and say what you um say what you don't see, yeah, declare things. But like no, there's power even in the words that we say to each other. Like so even when we're being mean, and that's why it's, don't talk when you're angry. It's okay to be like, you know what, right now I can't have this conversation. Right now I need to leave the room. Right now I need to hang up. Because like words stay with you. You have people who are running around, and it doesn't mean you're still hurt. It does not mean you're not healed. But you have people who remember things that are in their 30s, 40s, some people 50s, still remember things that were said to them by their parents. Words stick with you. So absolutely watch your mouth, because, and even not just for the sake of the person, but to know that okay, I said this thing, and I'm going back and I'm going to apologize, and it's heartfelt, and I absolutely mean my apology. But it's sad, it's me, because it's gonna be like, but she still might she's still gonna remember that, even though she know I didn't mean it. She or he is still going to remember, like, dang, I remember Tay got so mad at me. She said whatever. And I don't want to make people, that's not a memory I want people to have of me. So just like, yeah, working on mouth control.
All right, I gotta say this because you said that I didn't mean it, but I had to say that. But you was like saying things that you didn't mean. I had to say that. But Selena K just said when she was like, when I'm referring to my heart, point to my heart, not my chest. And I mean, like, when you say heart, point to your head, not your chest. Oh, okay. Heart. Because we had to think it first
It's not so
in order
he's
for,
talking about your mind. He's not
yeah.
talking about the the heart that's physically pumping. So when he tells you change your mind for the kingdom, change your heart, this is all your mind, what you treasure, what you hold. It's all in your mind. And so you
Yeah,
have to change that. And like Jate was saying, it's what's in you that when it comes out. So there's something that was in your heart, in your mind. You was thinking it, even if you it was put away subconsciously. That's still
exactly.
on you, baby. That's on you. And that's your thoughts that you have to deal with and change for the kingdom. And like you were talking about earlier, Tamoya, when you were changing your words. They're imperative because when you say these things, make sure that sentence add up all the way properly. Because here's the thing, you're actually saying what he's saying. This
Yeah,
ain't us, we're just saying him, but we also are relative to our people. We're a particular type of bait. So I talk a certain type of way around certain type of people because I need to attract them. I'm made a particular way to attract these particular people. My little light girl, please. But but no, like you were saying, like, what's coming out of that mouth is what it is. And I said that's why God considers, gossip murder. That's murder. And people will
it
say, like,
is.
oh, I don't pull a little trigger. I ain't stab nobody. Yeah, but that's only according to the world.
And it's
Who
like in
cares
this
what the world?
society,
Yeah.
people are. And I'm just not even going to be even referring to us people of color because it's really like the white people because nothing really gets done unless it's happening to white people. It's not going to really get done. So if you know whatever. So bullying, they have taken bullying into actions of like the court of law, and people are killing themselves and hanging themselves and taking all these pills because there are people at the schoolyard that are bullying them, and those students, these kids are being held accountable in the court of law as if they are adults. And it's like, I mean, I guess you got to learn early, but then again it's like,
That's
how
not
are
fair.
they being raised? They
Let me
clearly
say
something.
I believe that that's not fair. I believe that the system has the system messed up. These
Mm-hmm.
parents need to be in jail, period.
That's true. That's
We have a
true.
responsibility to our children. If we didn't do the planting, the growing, the harvesting in our own children, and they go out these doors and they're doing the things that they're doing, why are they being held for this? Now it will make parents more accountable and be like, oh no, that or you'll say, you know what, no, because he doesn't, this ain't. But what you would do is have a vested interest in your child now, because you would be totally held responsible like you should have been in the beginning. And these children, like, I feel bad for these children because it's so wrong, it's so messed up to hold them accountable for something that more than likely they weren't even taught. They
Yeah.
wasn't, it's just assumed because they coming out of a home that they, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's brought to the parents' attention. It's not, it's a build up. So the principal, the teacher done called you, the principal, y'all done had a meeting with the other parent and the kid and whoever else, and you just didn't do anything about it. You didn't take it as seriously. And even if a child doesn't get to a point where the actions of your child cause a child to take its own life, you should just how to treat people. How to
Yes.
treat people. That should not be okay. And a lot of people, oh, they gonna be kids. So
I was just
what?
about to say that.
So what? So because we are so like you said, we have a responsibility to teach them because he's just a kid and he don't know about. So teach him better. Teach him that's not how you treat people. Treat him that's not how you talk to people.
Yes.
Say, listen, how would you feel if he said that to you? How would you feel if somebody said that to somebody you love? You teach them, don't okay. They going no, and if it hurts or they should be boys and toughen up. Guess what? If it was deep enough for Johnny to go home and tell his parent or tell the principal, I don't care how you feel like he shouldn't feel like it's that deep or it shouldn't affect him to that degree. He is a human being. It bothers him. Tell your child to stop. You don't have the right to tell somebody how to feel and to what degree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
it's ignorant, and like you said, on the parents' part, because a lot of times it's not one incident. Those babies didn't one time get teased, and
No,
they
they
just
Victimized.
no. A lot of times, like I said, there are meetings held. There
Yeah.
are meetings held, all types of stuff, and nothing is done. Nothing's done.
The real bullies are the parents. These kids are
Teach,
going these kids are going
teach,
to the schoolyard and feel like and they really don't they have a bad inner on themselves, so their heart really isn't right at the schoolyard, and this is the only place where they feel like they can have an advantage on somebody that probably is in a low spot just like them. But
teach.
they're showing it more on the outside, and on the inside, they're the other kids is the ones that's being bullied at home. The bullies are the parents at the
Listen,
house. So the kids is going to school and feel like the only way that they can even express themselves or be able to tell how they're feeling
come
is
on.
if they put that bullying on the next child. And
Yeah.
that's why things are going back. That's why these parents are ignoring the fact that their child is bullying at the school because they're the real bullies and they don't see a problem with it because they
Teach.
are mean. They are mean and
Teach.
bitter.
Teach. You're
That's it.
absolutely correct. Where did they get this from? We're going to have to stop playing these games. These parents are not at home encouraging this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have people, parents, that they know that they fail. They know they in the streets. And it don't matter to them as long as they bills getting paid. It don't matter to them as long as they child is the child that's hot in the streets. It don't matter
Sick.
to them. Excuse me.
It's sick.
It's
They
six.
heart not right.
It's six. And what's so crazy is, like you said, the parent, you're the bully. You are the person that's sick enough to drop that stuff on your children. That's sick.
I mean, kids. It's kids. We've even watched TV shows where they done this dude done been a bully since they was 7, and now they in high school 17, and he's still doing it. You've been a bully for 10 years. How long has your father been a bully? Since he was 7?
Teach this.
Since he was in high school?
Teach.
This is generational bullying.
Yeah, or like you said, it's either they're being bullied because I've heard people call their daughters bees. I'm talking about their kid daughter. And I wouldn't care if my daughter was 65. She'll never be a bee out my mouth. But I've heard women call their daughters bees.
Yeah.
I've heard dudes call it, come here, little N-word. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, do you know how stupid that and ignorant that sounds?
Bed and breakfast, like in my home, no shade to, you know what I'm saying? But I think that was just, I don't know. I don't know if it was cool, it was what, but in our home, it was nigga. Breakfast, and it wasn't it was as if it was home. You know what I'm saying? So that was an acceptable term in my home. Like it's a lot of stuff that right now as an adult I am like debunking from. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this was breakfast. It's kind of difficult.
Dinner.
Yeah, right. Or, you know, when the order's given, you know, they everything but they name. Like they can cuss out hard body. And so now they're just repeating it. They're going to school, saying the things that are said to them. And if it's not being done to them, it's a lack of like you said, it's a cry for attention to more, like you said. They're not being loved. And so instead of, like you said, Selena, instead of them being punished, I even say even in an adult system, okay, so punishment is required, but rehabilitation too. Because if we only punish but we don't correct behavior, now, first of all, we're not giving them a chance. And we're at risk of repeat. We have to help. We can't just punish. We have to help too. What is going on in your head, in your heart? Like you said, what is going on? Talk to people so we can get to the root of these things. Because a lot of people know we're not justifying, but a lot of people are just hurt. They damaged. They broken. They all these things. And if somebody would be like, "Listen, what's going on with you? Talk to me. What needs to be done?" You know what I mean? So especially like you said with these kids. What is going on in your home? What's going on in your home? Them kids, a lot of them ain't eating or feeding themselves. Like you said, the moms and the dads is not home. And so they are crying for help and they don't even know they're crying for help. You know what I mean? So it's like you said, it's not fair for them to be held accountable for something that is not their responsibility. Like I said, it's the parents' responsibility, whoever's in charge. And teachers and seriously, once the parents are reached out to and they don't want to do that, then that's when y'all step in. Because since you don't want to do, so now I'm going to step and I'm going to, so because I'm an adult and we have given you the opportunity to do your job as a parent. And before this thing spirals out of control, now we're going to take action
Exactly.
before the punishment comes into place.
Exactly.
So now you about to have somebody all in your business.
Yeah, like social work and the teachers at the schoolyard, and because used to, back then, I feel like teachers really used to be more concerned, like, all up in the kids' business, and they come to school, they got a little, like, they got a new scar on them, or they stomach is growling by the time 10 a.m. hit, and things like this. People are stepping into these wrong occupations just because of, like, money, or because things like
Hey,
we can't, we gonna go back to this. You can't be doing things that, if you can't wake up and you wouldn't do it for free because it's a passion of yours, because this is something that you love to do. You love the kids, you want them to be healthy, you want them to be safe, you're growing the next generation. This isn't something that you should be wasting your time, money, energy on, because nothing's free. This education that you're getting is not free. It's not free. So you're going to school, depressed, you're going to school just heart ain't right, to graduate with a degree, and to put a fake smile on your face, to hold it up to mean what? That you got through college? I mean, good for you. But how did you make it through? How did you get over?
teach. There's a lot of cheating going on, so teach. And it's evident in your dissertations and your Facebook writings.
Because
And
what's
you don't
meant for
even
you,
have
you
to
don't have to fight
right
so hard. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be going through all these trials and tribulations, because this is your purpose. This is your purpose. You were born to do this.
how you got a degree and you can't spell. We got folks out here. No, sis, do we not have them out here? They
Yeah,
can't
the
spell, they
degrees are
can't
fake.
read.
They're really fake now. It's like,
Like
it's
this
not
is
really not. It's not so
crazy,
much meaning. I think I saw a
girl.
TikTok the other day, and they was like, back then, back in maybe '08 or something before then, when you got a degree, it used to actually mean something. You could go out and you get your degree, and maybe like the next week or the next month, your job is sitting there waiting for you. You don't have to go out and fight. You don't have to go out and not worry about if you just spent 8 years in college or 4 years in college just to waste your time. Now, people have bachelor degrees for going to school for 4 years, and are as broke as a 16-year-old with no job, living with their parents, and wondering, but I did everything right. I went to school, and I did this, and I didn't ask for this, and I did it by myself. And it's like, you wasn't supposed to be doing that from jump. So,
Mm-mm.
I
I was
mean,
there. I remember when the towers fell, and what 9/11, no, 9/11. So when the towers fell, then what was that, 2001? Are we at 2001? Yeah. And I was working at Fridays. I had came in, and it's so crazy because I was actually working with a lawyer who had a law degree but no job. So he was busting tables. It's just the great, and that was the first time I'm like, what you mean?
crazy,
You a lawyer?
crazy, crazy. Like, doctors, people that have doctorates, and I mean masters, don't went to school for 8 years, 10 years, and they in the library checking in books, checking out
No,
books,
for real.
because
How much does that really say about what it is that you're out, what they have you out here dangling over your
I
head
mean,
to
thinking they have you out here thinking that,
this,
like, the ways of society is
teach
what
this,
you need in order to succeed, in
teach
order
sis,
to be happy, in order to live this
please.
life, in order to find a good woman, or
Come
in
on,
order
sis.
for your husband to come out, and like, no.
None of it.
Mm-mm. You
None
don't
of
have to be the CEO of Crisco to meet the love of your life, or to
Please. Or
feel
be the difference, or
successful, or to be happy, or feel like you
Jesus.
don't need all of that, because some people really genuinely love, like, literally
You know
just
what?
love you for who you are, and don't really care about the circumstances of where you are. But we're so stuck in this world that if a nice man
Girl,
wants to do this for me, and I'm in this situation, it must not be genuine, or it must not be right. because we're of this, we're in this society.
Yep. That's your mind. So messed up, so used to being, look at your mind. And I love when you were talking about just going to school. I just recently heard somebody was telling me, like, yeah, everybody's going to college except one person. And I was just saying to myself, like, yay for the one person who's off road.
Right. Who actually took a leap out on faith. Taking a leap out on faith.
They be acting like, oh, you going to college, that's supposed to mean something, or that's supposed to get up out of here. Let me tell you something. I've discovered that those that have to go all the way through college and all that, we're the dummies, because we had to go all this route to learn that God is and been. Because we don't get it. We think we're good enough on our own. We think we can earn our way through, and we following after the way of the world. We believed in the American dream. Lies. They don't add up. You got a whole degree as a lawyer working at Fridays.
Not Fridays. to do what I do. And I ain't even been to the schoolyard.
I ain't even been to
we got the same.
How does this stuff make it? Doesn't make sense unless you're only going to school to be oppressed. You're going to be part of
to be who the world wants you to be.
Thank you, Queen.
Impress. A lot of people, and I hate to say it, a lot of people are not comfortable with themselves. And again, I think until you know who you are in Christ, okay, because I'm not gonna act like again but until you will be like, I gotta do something so I can feel like somebody, to not just myself, because everybody else is going to school. Like a lot of women, not being me, but they going to be an RN, and you don't even want to be a nurse. You might want to be I don't know, but it ain't as big as a nurse, but an RN behind your name. Oh, she did something with her life. Baby, if you're doing what your purpose is, then you are doing something, and a degree does not make you worthy.
Maybe it was her purpose. That's why you did that. You're not meant to be a lawyer. You're meant to be an artist. You're supposed to be
right. Right.
You're supposed to be doing hair. It's a lot of women who are RNs that's supposed to be stylists, and the stylists supposed to be RNs.
Thank you.
For whatever reason, it's something about the nurses and the hairstylists. They be hand in hand with each other, and they cross over wrong. You supposed to been doing hair. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But somebody told them. Somebody made them feel like that wasn't enough, and so that's why, like, you gotta be comfortable who God said. If when it become enough, it ain't gonna matter what society says. It's not going to matter. This is what this is what, like Tamoy said, this is what, if I wasn't getting paid to do, this is what I would still do, and I would love it, and I would wholeheartedly do it and crush it for free. So that's when you're going and you're sitting at that desk, and you hate staying up working them overnight 12-hour shifts. Like, is that really? So do you really feel like somebody?
Exactly.
You feel like somebody, but you don't feel like somebody that you used to be.
Because you're only existing and you're not living in this moment.
Thank you. You are living, but you are not alive. You are not alive.
Y'all, we need to go on break before we even keep on dipping and diving.
Yeah, I'm losing my man over here. Yes, the tag team is real, boo. As the consumers, also raise it, because that I love one thing about watching the Dave Chappelle special, and he was saying, you know what, now I'm gonna go to my real bosses, and his real boss was the audience, and he said, I'm asking you guys who are the consumers to not purchase or participate in this, and so that's the same thing. We didn't as well. We are the real bosses and are the machine. Right.
Do me a favor. On your platform, and again, I'm so humble and blessed to be on your platform. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
The same platform that you have right now and what you're doing right now, I don't even think you realize Rock Truth Radio stands for more than just Rock Truth Radio. Here's the difference with what you're doing culturally. You're talking about building a whole bunch of people that's looking at your show and looking at the sisterhood and brotherhood that you bring forth every single show. And it's showing them subliminally, this is how you work together.
Yeah.
This is the bridge you build for other people to cross over back and forth. That's the kind of platform that we need. That's the kind of positive energy that we need. If it's not for your show, how will younger people have first off a blueprint to follow and something to look forward to, and to say, I don't really want to do the rest of that stuff that everybody else is doing. I need a show that is indicative of who I am. And that's what Rock Truth is all about. So I'm so humbled to be on your platform.
Thank you. And we're humble to have you. And I'm sorry, just one last minute and I'll let everybody else talk. But thank you for that. And just like you said, you stand independent. So do we. We are not, willing to do anything for any money. We're not willing to compromise anything. If we got to put in the work, we'll put in the work before we compromise ourselves and the God that we serve. But we don't need that. We're not here for that. We're here for his namesake solely. And so I'm so grateful that you've taken again the time to turn and see us for who it is that we are. That was I'm trying not to cry, Will.
Rock Truth got merch, y'all. Who is your true north? Who holds you down so you'll always know where you are? God, the original true north, the original point of reference. Check out our clothing line, True North, at RockTruth2.com for your kingdom culture needs. Everything from tees to sweats, men's, women's, and kids' sizes. Inez Essentials Whipped Body Butter has a wide assortment of 8-ounce body butter made with unrefined shea and mango butter, infused with vitamin E oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, natural mica powder, and fragrant essential oils. It is designed to heal and moisturize dry skin, and it is perfect for the whole family. Our whipped shea butter is handcrafted with a blend of natural and organic ingredients. The unicorn body butter can be customized to the scent of your choice. If a scent is not chosen, no scent will be added. Have you been searching for a custom home decor and crafts? Check out Delicious Designs. For more information, simply search Della Williamson on Facebook. Are you in need of advertisement or marketing tools? Branded in his image prints, logos, flyers. Contact us today. RockTruth Prints is ready to serve your printing and designing needs. We offer a full array of marketing tools, logos, flyers, business cards, video ads, and website designs. If you need our services for prints, we got you there too. Contact us at rocktruthradio@gmail.com for more information.
Rock Truth got merch, y'all.
Listen, that is a legit commercial. Like, that's a real commercial. Like,
I hope that
was fun.
We see the other one we saw.
The what?
I hope we see the baby one.
Oh yes, the baby. Listen, it cracks me up because it really looks like that's what she's thinking. That's what makes it real funny, like,
doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah, so back to what we were saying about being in this world and not really conquering your purpose and only existing and not living. It makes me think about with the word correction. It just makes me think of I have a lot of siblings, and some of my siblings are more on the sensitive side, so I feel like I have to sometimes watch what I say or how I say it, and I've even disciplined myself to take their feelings into consideration, because I would of course want somebody to take my feelings into consideration if and when I am being corrected. So I've learned that a lot of my siblings do not do well on correction. Like, And I feel like it's because at the end of the day, what we're talking about is, you know, our hearts and getting the inside of us right, our spirit right, in order for it to be objectified and for it to be thrown out into the world on the outside. I just feel like some of their minds really aren't right, and all these worldly thoughts go through, insecurities and depression, and always like somebody is attacking you. I could say that a few of my siblings always feel like they're being attacked. And even though I've checked myself, because you always have to check yourself at the door before you ever try to check anyone, that I don't really know. It's hard for me to really find what and how to say the things that I need to say, because we can only go on we can only go on how we are for so long. There can only be so much disobedience. There can only be so many trials and tribulations before you realize that you have to make a change, unless you take it to the grave, unless you let depression and jealousy, these are diseases, unless you let them take you to the grave. And in the end, it's like, what was the point in that? You weren't happy in life, you weren't happy in death. I mean, it's like, be corrected. And I feel like it's people, there are a lot of people in today's society, they have a problem with being corrected, or with, like, the correction. And then, I get it, I get the criticism, and people be feeling like criticism, but it shouldn't feel like you're being criticized if your heart is in, the right space. Because I try to make it a point that I don't ever want to feel like I'm attacking or judging anyone, especially the ones that I love, because I mean, if it's hurting you, it's hurting me, or at least that's how it should be. But you can only pray and just hope and pray that, you know, people take the criticism, or the correction. They take the correction in a way that you're giving it. You know what I mean?
And so again, it all stems to when you get into knowing God, and the renewing of your mind starts. And so I know, and I don't know what the case is with your siblings, but I know for me, and I know a lot of people, there's a root to that. And a lot of times it goes back to your childhood. So when somebody is told, as a child, you never, just like, again, we're talking about words. What is wrong with you? You never do anything right. They're just always being attacked. And so when they become an adult, everything does feel like an attack. And so I remember I used to be the type of person, a person I can show them a design or something I just did, and they could literally give me, hypothetically, 5 compliments. And they just will say something as simple as, what will really make that pop? Girl, add some green. What we hear is, it's not good enough. It ain't decent. It's whatever. It feels like what I did was not good enough. So you go to all the things that's wrong, and you didn't even hear, you forget all about the 5 things that they said that was dope about it. And it wasn't until, and I'm not going to say instantly, till I, started doing life with God. But it's a process. So in my mind, it's just now catching up with my soul. You know what I mean? In all honesty, seriously, like for real. You know what I mean? I never did. And this woman, and so, like, somebody would just say something to me, and I would feel like an attack, because I would go back to, I didn't do it right. And I'll never forget, a woman, she was watching my kids. My kids were little, like 10 years ago. And I forget what she said to me. And I like got defensive. I was like, well, I something to the effect of like, well, I did the best I could. And she was like, stop. And she was like, I just want to let you know that I love you, and I would never say anything to hurt you. She's like, you don't always have to be defensive. She was like, because I realized that you always feel like you're being attacked. And when you said the word attack, and so So there's a root 9 times out of 10 behind that whole thing, and it's not a. It could be a new thing, but a lot of times it stems from a childhood thing. And like you said, there's a difference. So now, thank God, now tell me so I can make a flyer. Tell me so I can, you know what I mean? So that I, like you said, there's a difference between loving correction and even corrective criticism in the workplace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even that's like, I was the type, my boss could, say, hey, Jate, when you pull your bus in, come into the office. Girl, that could have been 9 o'clock in the morning. I pull in 7 hours later. For 7 hours straight, I thought about, am I getting fired? What did I do wrong? Yeah. I know I didn't do anything. Did somebody say that? Like, what? I never went to. It just had to be something bad. Why? Like you? So it's a mind thing. You have a stinking thinking mind that roots for something. It's like, why can't it be you're getting a promotion? Why can't it be a customer called in and gave you a compliment? Why can't it be your boss wants to give you a compliment? Your mind, and it's a heart thing. It's not just your mind, it's your actual heart thing, where you have been made to feel like, and again, but that's something that you need to be healed and delivered from. We know where that comes from God. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So absolutely.
And even back to what you were saying in the beginning about, what you say, because a lot of people, we live in a society where they want to, it's like, you could talk all you want, but as long as the actions is what really mean it. It's like, them words really, believe it or not, the words mean just as much as these actions do, because like, I'm not even gonna kid you, like, I was bullied. I was a child that was, I was bullied a little bit, and at some point in time, I picked myself up and I learned to be the giant. I wasn't gonna always be this little peapod, and you wasn't gonna always pick on me because I was darker or because I didn't have a lot of hair. You wasn't finna do that to me, and I let it be known. But it's some things that, even though this people that haven't really like experienced, or feel like they haven't really experienced as much as you've been through, it only takes one time for some people. Literally, it only takes one time. Because when I think of my siblings, I have older siblings and then I have younger siblings. I'm in between, and I'm a role model. I try to be a role model to all my siblings, and to make sure that they're all loved and that I love them. I feel like it really stems from, like, it leads back to forgiveness. Like, it really leads back to forgiveness, and it leads to just to how you take things, and how and really the mindset that your heart is in that moment that you're receiving that correctiveness. Ooh, that's cold. But really, like, that mindset, because people will take it and, I mean, run with it for decades, 20 years, 30 years. And I mean, because that one time, that one incident, and they weren't really right from jump, it really took a toll on their life. And now every time somebody says something, like, they want to cry, or when somebody wants or is addressing a problem, or is addressing some type of correctiveness, you feel like, like, you can't do anything right, or if she's saying something, it must be bad, or she never really has anything good to say. But it's like, I could be saying, like you were saying, I could say all these good things and you could eat it up, but once I say that one bad thing, now all the good things that went out the window. So it's like, instead of having a 10-to-1 ratio, now it's like a 0-to-1. And I mean, it's like, really, what can you do except for pray that they get their heart and spirit right, and the right mindset. Pray to the Lord that He leads their mind, and guides their mind, and guides their spirit, and put them on the right path to be in this world, because we are in a world where people are going to talk about you. People are going to let you know, because they don't love you. See, the difference between me correcting you in that moment is because I don't want these people that don't love you how I love you to say something to you, and then now you're being talked about. So it's like, would you rather me talk about you, to your face on the inside of the house, or these strangers come inside of the house and you give them something to talk about, and now they're going to spread it out into the world. So it's like, which one do you want? Because you can't have both if you're not going to correct yourself.
And as the Bible teaches us, and again, correction equals love. If like you said, I'm the oldest sibling. So whether it be with them or whoever, just somebody I love, like you said, it's like, listen, what you're doing is going to hurt you in some way, shape, or form. It could be physically, like you said, it could have people out here talking about you crazy. What you're doing is not it. And it has nothing to do, because I want to point out to you what you're doing is so wrong, but I want to point it out to you for your protection. Because, like you said, because I love you. And so it takes me back to what Selena said. How, yeah, gossip equals murder. And even when, we talked about the kids, and even if somebody doesn't physically, harm themselves and kill themselves, what are we doing when we gossip about somebody? We are assassinating their character.
Exactly.
We are killing their character.
Exactly.
Even if somebody is whatever they are, it is not our job to go tell the town that Sally is a whatever. Like, that is, like you said, whatever we are, you know what I mean? Is a sickness. Sin is a sickness, period. Yes. It's all a disease. So would you want someone to go around? And again, God always has me think about, when it's us, we want understanding, and we want help, and we just want to be loved in spite of, while we're getting ourselves together. But when it's somebody else, it's like, no. And what are we doing? We are assassinating that character. And what we're even doing, because people change. No,
you get discredited. Okay. You get discredited.
So yep. Exactly. So whatever I am, or whatever somebody is today, right? So you go and you be like, she a bleep, bleep, bleep. 5 years from now, I am no longer that thing. I no longer, thank God he has delivered me from that sickness. But human beings, it's going to be somebody somewhere that 5-10 years down the line, still going to be looking at me from what you told me.
Because you've been discredited. You have been discredited. People do know what this means, right? When you're discredited, you're done. Like, you're done. When a forensic scientist goes in the courtroom and lies about some evidence or some information or stuff, from them becoming an expert, they become discredited when things don't add up. That means you won't be picked anymore. That means you lose any expertise that you had, all that schooling that you had, all these years of learning and going to school and doing what you love. If you loved it, because you wouldn't have been discredited, now that's out the window. So now you have to go out and find something else that you think might make you happy. And back to what was in the comments. Is there negative people, or are there like negative comments? And I feel like it's a such thing as both, because in order for there to be a negative comment, the person had to be negative. They had to be thinking some negative things in order for the comments to even be exasperated from their mouth. They always try to remind you of who you used to be and not who you become. Yes, that is true. That is true, Jalen. That's my friend. But yeah, and all of this, it just really circles around love and forgiveness. Because if you really forgive somebody, who they are today and who you're seeing and witnessing today, who they used to be 5-10 years ago, maybe before they got saved, shouldn't even cross your mind, because now they're a mother, now they're a wife, now they're a child of God, going to church, doing right, doing things. This should make you happy. This is your friend. This is someone you love. So I mean, it's all fun. Let's joke about the past times. Let's joke about the good times back in our young days. Cool. But what we're not finna do is bully. We're not finna make it seem like, because at the end of the day, it's finna make it seem like your heart is in the wrong place, not hers, because this is who she used to be. So people are gonna be looking at you like you're crazy, because who are you now? This is who you are now. This is who she is now. We're not worried about who she used to be. because we're seeing who you are right now, and it doesn't look good. Looks sour. Looks pretty sour.
It makes me think of the word love, whether we know them or whether we don't know them. So think about it, right? Love, a big thing I've learned is love is about how you handle a person and how you handle people. So if you just were to say to yourself, if it were me, would I want them to just be having a conversation about me? If anything, have a conversation with me. And if you don't know me to have a conversation with me, don't have a conversation about me. If I don't know you, I have no business having a conversation about you. And like I said, if I do know you, out of love, I should be having that conversation with you so that it doesn't look the way. Because if I'm not having it with you, it's gossip. If a person's not in the room and there's a negative conversation being had about them, it's gossip.
Yes, it
They're
is.
not here.
That's true.
It's gossip. So love equals how you handle people. And how would I want them to be handled? If I am in a moment of some mess, because even after you get saved, you don't have moments of when you in your mess, even if the moment is a couple seconds, or God forbid, it's a couple weeks or a couple months until I get back right.
Right.
How would I want somebody to handle me in my mess? And it makes me think about, because people be like, oh, you know, a man, and I'm going to say even a woman, but you know, a woman, you will know that man loves you, how he handles you, how he treats you, how he handles you as a person. So look at that in every aspect, how we handle people. And the Bible tells us love covers a multitude of sin. So we're not talking about acceptance, but why are we exposing people's stuff? Love does not expose people's sin and people's mess.
And I mean, what are you really exposing? You're not exposing anybody's stuff but your own. You're just
who you are, right?
Your character. You're diminishing yourself, and what you think you're doing, what you think you're getting away over on somebody. At the end of the day, like, it's really you, and don't let it be a child of God.
And listen, because I think about all that, like they say, there's that saying that we all got a page in our book that we hope anybody ever read.
And some of us got a whole book. I have to make a whole other new book to their trilogy. Because the first book was them going through them trials and tribulations. Now the next sequel is rejuvenized and replenished and peace, inner peace, and who I am today. Who sage. Nothing can come past this threshold. Like, okay, sis, because I read the first book and it's like this second book is good too. All applause to you. But we not finna cut anybody's flowers.
And I always think of it like ain't nobody hoping. And so that's why, and I'm not gonna act like I never say that. Oh, look.
Exactly.
Yeah. And but I think it's something that I know I need to work on. Mouth control. Because again, if I pray, I'll be like, God, if I see something and I feel like I gotta say something, let me say it to you and let it be a prayer. Help me to not open my mouth up to somebody else about what I've seen or what I've heard or whatever. So yeah, because we all do it like, oh, and what? But yeah, just about
simplifying us. I'm just saying that, you know, it's people out here that are doing it and feel like it's nothing wrong with it. They feel like at the end of the day that they're getting back at someone, or like they right. And a prideful person is something. It's not good to be that. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. And they've been saying that for too long, because I was going into that. So I know it was being said before even I was born.
Right.
Check
And
yourself.
It's funny because God got a funny way of humbling you. Even after you say you that very thing that you point out, somebody else will be the same thing that you will stumble upon. You will find yourself in that person's shoes. So again, we have to watch our mouth. I remember a old thing told me. She was like, me and my friend was saved, and you know, she got, you know, a boyfriend and she started fornicating again, and she said, I chew her up girl, you know better, blah, blah, this and that. And that's not love and correction. You were supposed to tell us, like, baby, this ain't what we're doing. We're supposed to be safe. But she said she did it in a very, like, nah, I chew her. She said, and it was so funny, but not funny. She said, do not know, not too long after, guess who found themselves in the bed where they weren't supposed to be? She said, and when God, she said, and God took me right back to when and how I handle her. She was like, so, and that's true. That is very true. And again, some people, yeah, it needs to be said, but like you said, the delivery and the words that we use and us doing it out of love, that will make all the difference, even in how whether somebody's going to even listen to you or not. Even when you're talking to your kids, if you just like, Bobby, what are you doing? And I'm going like, I'm a parent, you howl sometimes. But a lot of times, that's probably a lot of people gonna go blank. As soon as you start talking, when you start talking a certain type of way, they've already left the conversation. So even how you approach them and how you approach the situation, that is going to you've come there to plant a seed. That's what we're gonna say. You come there to plant a seed. Don't shove it in the ground. Don't be all rough, you know.
Okay,
like don't destroy what you have been supposed to do by doing it. And that's why I'm like, Holy Spirit, you say it, you do it, because it takes to it. I might, probably more than likely, I'm gonna mess it up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we here, so I mean, we sinners, so depraved. This is just something if we keep this going, we're gonna be going for hours.
I'm about to say, girl, we're gonna be here tomorrow morning.
We gotta go.
7 tomorrow. No, look, it's 6 your time. 6 tomorrow morning.
We gotta get up out of here. Y'all, this has been amazing. Every Monday, y'all know Mondays is our days. This is when we really be starting our week. This is what leads us. This is what gets it jumping and nuking. So catch us next Monday, rocking with the youth, with the truth. If you was the truth though, because don't come in here with no false claims, because we don't do that. I'm so sorry, because we will check you at the door with love. So correct.
We'll let you in. Not before.
Right. We out of here. We lit, we live, be true, be you, rock truth every day.
Love y'all. Be blessed.